National Council of State have now approved a national minimum wage of 27,000 naira. The president, former leaders, former chief justices of the country, current heads of the arm of government, and governors all make up this group. The council had its first meeting of the year at the State House, Abuja. Even though 27,000 naira was approved, the federal government says it will pay its workers 30,000 naira, which was recommended by the Minimum Wage Tripartite Committee last year. Council also discussed the coming general election and security across the country. Incidentally, former President Olusegun Obasanjo was at the Council of State meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, whom he has consistently criticized. Mr. Obasanjo's latest criticism was contained in a 16-page letter released on Sunday, in which he accused President Buhari of incompetence and nepotism. He also likened the president's government to that of General Sani Abacha, who was considered dictatorial, and doubted INEC's willingness to conduct free and fair elections. Tuesday's exchanges between Mr. Obasanjo and President Buhari were cordial. TVC correspondent Maria Olasande, who was at the State House earlier, joins me via phone now for more details. It's interesting to see that those who constituted the National Council of State indeed are sharply divided when it comes to politics. Is there any other thing the camera did not catch, especially the warm exchanges between the president and former President Obasanjo? Maria.
Yeah, it was actually interesting, as you said, as soon as President Olusegun Obasanjo came into the chambers, it became lively, and the former President Olusegun Obasanjo is a lively person, and he came in with the former head of state, N27 was also there. The only thing the cameras, I think they didn't capture was when President Muhammadu Buhari came in. So normally what we do is everybody would stand up. But the former president, N27, was sitting down, so President Muhammadu Buhari walked up to him to greet him. I think that was because age was no longer on the side of the former president. So President Muhammadu Buhari shook hands with President Olusegun Obasanjo, and everybody, was excited about that, and he greeted the former head of state too, N27, and Abdul Salam. So after the meeting, after the greeting on his way to his office, the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, just shouted, "Morning, sir," because after the president speaks of the AGF speech, then the Senate President speaks. So the president passed the Senate President to greet Chief N27. So on his way back, the Senate President had to make himself notice and said, "Morning, sir." So the president now shook hands with the Senate President. So after that, there was prayers. After the prayers, which the President Muhammadu Buhari, asked General Olusegun Obasanjo, they said, "General, please give us the opening prayers for the Christian." And the Muslim was done by Justice Ways. Then the SGF briefed that former heads of state, Ibrahim Babangida and Yakubu Gowon, sent their apologies that they won't be able to come for the meeting. And a minute silence was held for the former president, Shehu Shagari, because he was once a member of the council. So after that, we went out, and there was a briefing by the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Rotimi Akeredolu, with Dr. Chris Ngige, to tell us the outcome of the meeting.
Interesting indeed, Maria. Apparently, the 16-page letter written by the former president wasn't the subject of the meeting today. But then the figure is very interesting. 30,000 naira seemed to be the top story, all the way from the tripartite committee. It's passed through the NEC as well as the FEC. How exactly did that figure change there?
Actually, the Council of State advised the president to peg it at 27,000 naira, the national minimum wage at 27,000 naira, which will be transmitted before the close of work, that's tomorrow, to the National Assembly. But they said the federal government has agreed to top up their own workers' pay by paying 30,000 naira to his own workers. Then states and private sectors can pay whatever amount. They are at liberty. They are free to choose the amount they want to pay. It can exceed the 30,000 naira, but should not be below the 27,000 naira minimum wage.
It's all right, Maria. Let's see how that goes with Labour, which we understand is already meeting right now to make a stance known as regards this new development. Maria Lasande, thank you for joining us on the news this hour.